Notice was sent to the Morris County Clerk and the clerks of the municipalities comprising the Regional District, the Observer Tribune, the Daily Record, and the Star Ledger. Notice also posted in the District Administration Building, West Morris Central High School, West Morris Middle High School, and on the West Morris Regional website. Mr. Butler.
Present.
Mrs. Forster.
Here.
Mr. Leida.
Here.
Mrs. Gilmet. Mr. Johnson.
Here.
Mr. Woodlawn.
Here.
Mr. Meyer. Mr. Richard. Here. Mrs. Schramm. Madison Allworth. Charles Durkin. Here. You do have a quorum.
Thank you. I have a motion to approve the meeting minutes from the December 13th meeting.
So,
The one Dave. Second. Have Tom. So you have Tom. Okay, you can put them on the second order. Discussion?
Yeah, one thing. I believe there's an error on page 5710. Personnel number 8. Down at the bottom. I believe at the last meeting the chair misstated that motion carried. And these minutes misstate that motion carried because there's not a majority in favor of that motion.
With the majority of the members who did not abstain.
Now, in fact, that's not true. Policy 9325.4 of this district's policy manual states that all motions shall require for adoption a majority vote of those present and voting, minimally a majority of the quorum, except as provided by statute.
And I know the statute holds that an abstention, those people are present, but they don't count for or against the vote. So we had 4 voting yes, we had no members voting no, that means the motion carries.
You had either one of two things. Either you had 9 present and voting, in which case you didn't have a majority to pass, or you only had 4 present and voting, in which case you didn't have a quorum. And under either 2 of those scenarios, this motion did not pass.
There's another option, and that's what I'm telling you, and that is that we had 9 members present. We had a quorum, but that doesn't require every member of the quorum to vote. The voting members were only 4. Of those 4 members, all voted in favor of that motion. None voted against. Of the 4, the motion carried by 4-0. You can look it up in statute. There's plenty of cases to
If the vote was 4-0, then you didn't have a quorum.
No, that's not accurate. The quorum has to be present, not voting.
Okay, well, I'm going to make a motion to amend these minutes to change the last word in that motion from approved to fails.
I don't believe that you can make a motion to change minutes.
To
change a motion that took place in the past.
I'm moving to amend the motion to approve the minutes.
Right, but maybe I'm reading your motion wrong, but I think you just said that you're trying to change the motion that is contained in the minutes, not the minutes themselves.
We have a motion on the table to approve the minutes.
Yeah.
I'm making a motion to amend that motion.
How are you making a motion to amend it?
As I just said, to approve the last word in the motion from approved to fails.
The last word in the motion with?
The last word on page 5710.
Original motion approved?
Change that to original motion fails. Right.
Is there a second?
Question, is it possible to table this and actually look at the statutes to make sure we get this accurate procedurally?
well, I believe that Mrs. Forster is correct from another standpoint, is that I don't believe this was there's certain motions that require, the full board to be in place for it to be considered a majority, and this motion did not meet that criteria. So I don't see that there's not a problem with tabling the minutes and coming back to that, as opposed to trying to parse out a piece of these minutes. just table the minutes if you want us to research it out and more comfortable with us doing that, and then we'll bring it back at the next board meeting. Just you won't have approved minutes until the 24th.
And does that hold us back on anything?
No, I don't believe so. I mean, as far as,
Just don't post.
we don't post them to the website, it's the only thing that we do.
And can I make that motion while he is an outstanding motion?
No, his
No.
motion needs to get a second, or die for lack
All
thereof.
right, and if we second his motion, we can have discussion on it?
Correct.
All right, I'll second it for discussion.
Okay, discussion. Okay, we have the discussion? All in favor?
Of
Jamie's motion to amend the minutes to read original motion fails. All in favor of that motion?
Aye.
Opposed?
Aye. No.
Aye, opposed.
Jimmy?
Who's opposed? Who's opposed?
See, second.
Okay, I would like to move that we table these for further research
Second,
for accuracy.
just to make sure there has been a procedure.
And discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstention? Okay, can you contact the attorney and
Yeah.
confirm that? Thank you very much. Okay. Moving on, work session. Alice, you have the program of study?
Thank you. This year, the program of studies for 2011-2012 was more of a collaborative effort than ever. I met with administrators and lead teachers and some teachers, spurred on by my own vision of what our program of studies should look like. I wanted it to be simpler and easier for a variety of audiences to understand. So the first meeting took place with the principals and directors of guidance, and we went through every page of the program of studies. Looking at it with my vision, that I'll quote, there's a curriculum writer that I refer to a lot, William Gladhorn, and this is what he says. A program of study, and that's what this document tells us, is the total set of learning experiences offered by a school to a particular group of learners, usually over a multi-period year period, and typically encompassing several fields of study. The program of study is often described as a policy statement that delineates which subject the school considers important. And that's truly how I started to look at it and believe. These are the things that we offer our students because we feel that they are the most important. So the process is a little bit more lengthy and a little bit more detailed. What we decided, first of all, the administration, is to take out things that were already in the student handbooks. For example, our program of studies had things about disciplining students, and that's not really a program of studies piece. It's more a school-based kind of thing. So what we did with the program of studies is this. Some things were cosmetic, some were spurred on by the happenings, the things that were happening in the district. So the cosmetic pieces were this. Two main important things were the idea that we had listed the graduation requirements for students, and so sometimes that got to be a little confusing for parents, so I put it into a chart form with the years the students are graduating, and the years they enter into our buildings, and what are their requirements, because we all know that they have changed for some of our grades. The other charts that I put in the book are charts that delineate which of the courses fulfill the visual and performing arts, the career education and consumer and family life skills requirements, and the financial literacy requirements. Another cosmetic piece that's been coming about over the years, it wasn't just this year, we've been talking about it for a long time, is naming the courses what they are. For example, we had some courses that were called themes of. Well, really it was Bio 1 or Bio 2. So making the names the same as what the student was actually studying, so there would be no confusion. We also, thanks for the technology people, they looked over their curriculum and they did the same thing. They wanted the names of the courses, the descriptors, to also reflect what was actually going on now as times have changed. So those were the kinds of things. We looked at name changes. But one of the most important thing that happened came about because of the principals in both buildings coming to Dr. Batista and myself and saying, in the electives, which now we call the required electives, there might not be enough sections offered because we've gone through a budget crunch and we've had to let go of some staff. So there might not be enough sections offered for each and every child to fulfill their state requirements. So Anthony and Dr. DeBattista and I met with each of the groups of the required electives now, because every child is required to take these courses, and asked them for their ideas and their help. And I am most impressed by the fact that teachers in each of these departments came together, united between the two, between Mendon and Central, and came up with some very viable solutions that really benefit our students. So I'm going to go through them a little bit. In the art department, we always had a course called Art History, which was a 5-credit course. So we would handle 25 to 30 students over a year. What both art departments decided was to offer a course called Art Appreciation, 2.5 credit course, which would then service double the number of students and also service something that we've talked about for a long time. The idea that we want our students to come out of West Morris District with a love and appreciation